Do y'all think that Joe Biden did right by choosing Kamala Harris as his vice president?
You know what? I honestly, because I know there's so much hype surrounding her right now, I feel that Biden's doing this very smart, very strategic, and I think picking her, someone that is a bulldog. I think that I don't want to say yes and no. Me personally, I'm just trying to see what all does she really have to offer. Like, what is she really going to bring to the table? So I'm seeing her a lot in the news. Social media, everybody's just like eating her up. So I'm just kind of sitting back right now, watching, because I feel like everybody's literally just letting the media talk for her. But I want to like really just kind of see what's going to unfold under like the next few weeks, and then I think I can really kind of cycle back around and answer that question.
I feel like that was a risk. And this is where I'm coming from. I feel like yes, she has held it down, and she's been doing her thing. Trump's campaign is going to dive in deep into her world because it's like, okay, we don't really have too much on Biden. Like everybody knows what's going on. Everybody kind of knows where like this is going. Like they've done all they did. Now they have a new target to like, okay, I need this to be pulled up. I need this to be pulled up. Does she got text messages? She got this. Where's she coming from? Da, da, da. They want the full resume on this woman to be like, okay, if there's anything that go on that we can leverage on, this is the time to do it. So that's going to be like the make or break of that whole part of what's going on. So I do feel like that was a good decision, but it's just like, okay, what is it really going to do? Like, what does she have? What's she speaking? What's she doing?
Me personally, because I did research on her, and I have went back on the Shade Room and everything. I did research on CNN. There's a lot of Black and Latinos in the comments saying, "Do not vote for her. She's not for us. This, that, and the third. She may appear to be, but she's really not for us."
So you're saying, I mean, because I didn't get the chance to read those comments or anything. Now, who is saying that she is not for us? Is this coming from like the
You have
Latino
like a lot of
American?
no, not celebrities.
No, I'm saying the
People.
Latinas. Like, is this coming from their voice or
It's
the
coming
voice?
from their voice. It's coming from Black voices. It's coming from them. Like in the Shade Room, I have a comment saved still actually that was a while ago. And like I said, a lot of people were just not here for her, and it was a lot of us and a lot of them, all coming together and all commenting on her and whatnot. I had did some research on her, and then also when she was at the Democratic debate, somebody had brought this up to her. She's actually jailed over 1,500 black men for weed, for having weed in their possession. She withheld evidence on two black men that were on death row, but then released the information after they were killed. So it is a lot of things behind her that I'm not like I'm cut my eye out.
Okay.
I
So
don't know.
now the only thing I would say, just hearing that, yes, again, this goes back to people. We need to pay attention to who we're voting for in our own backyards. Okay. And again, if we're doing research on these candidates in our own neighborhoods, a lot of that can kind of go against the top bracket, because if all we're doing is just skipping over like the little primaries and just like, oh, we're just letting these racist people just slide right on in, it's all going to fall in the dynamic order of justice. And they were wondering like, why are all these people like connected? Well, if you're hiring or voting for people like this that have a background, then of course that's what you're going to get. So we definitely have to stay woke when it comes to who we're voting for. But now, the one thing I will say about that, I will say yes, that it's very wrong for her to withhold evidence or anything like that at all. Now, the weed possession, here's my thing with that. Like, that right there kind of does not bother me to like a high point. Now, definitely when you're about to take someone's life, absolutely.
Weed, in my opinion, because again, I'm not a smoker at all, but weed is not a serious drug where you give somebody 20 years just for having weed in their possession. You get what I'm saying? And I
Right,
could be dragging the numbers. It might have not been 20 years. It might have only been like a 2 or 3 year sentence. I don't know. I didn't go that deep into researching. But
right.
my thing is, it's like for a weed possession, that's one of the
and,
few
and, and
drugs that
here's the
I
thing with
can get
that,
into.
like, we know that, and I really wish a lot of us would wake up to the fact that, okay, yes, we understand it's an herb, we understand what it does, a lot of us is probably partaking in it, we get it, but until we get to a point where America is truly understanding of having that, on your possession and when you have it, where you can have it. I'm not saying we should just cower in fear, but I think a lot of us need to just really stay woke. If you know that this is going to, possibly slam your butt in jail or, possibly get you some kind of sentence that you don't want, do it at home. Or if someone's bringing it to you or however you do it, don't, I would say be smart about it. And then if you are in a situation where the police is pulling you over or whatever, and a lot of us, we immediately like cower in fear of, okay, yes, I'm about to die in this car because the police officer is pulling me over, which a lot of us shouldn't think like that. We know it happens, we get it, but if you have it and you probably have a great amount of it, because let's be real, a lot of us of color carry more than about a gram in their car or whatever. So it's like at the end of the day, you really can't blame anybody but yourself. That's why for me, I don't allow none of that in my car. Like that kind of activity will not be in my car. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying everybody has to think like me. But I would just say when it comes to that, whatever drug or alcohol of your choice, be smart about it. And again, I just think that's a part of us having to just wake up. Okay, instead of feeding into the system, let's be better. Let's start thinking like, okay, hey, it's working for white America, it's working for other parts, but the black community. So we don't need to fit in, but we need to stop trying to show out all the time. It's a right time and it's a wrong time to show out. That's all I can say on that. Because with us, we show our ass 24/7 when we're right and when we're wrong, but we don't know when to turn that off, and that can be a bad thing.
Why do you feel like the black vote matter in politics?
Oh, oh, but that's easy. Um, but they black. I'm just kidding. But no, it matters because a lot of black people in the past and up to now, I mean, people are just now starting to get woke and hate the fact that it's like, taking all the way up to now for certain things. Certain people are wait for certain things. Certain people don't care about. Some people now are just worried about corona. They're not even thinking about, election. Um, so there's so many things that's going on, but I feel like it's important because the community is strong. The community has always been around, and as we come together, we will always be a strong community. One thing about it, you got one person, but when you have a crowd is very strong. But that one person's voice can still speak up for a crowd, but still, you have to think about it that way. Like our community is very strong, and it can be very strong than what we're going through. And I feel like as a whole, like it matters a lot because it does make a difference. And that's why I feel like that's why everybody is constantly saying, no matter what, continue to do that, continue to get out here, continue to still support, and stand up. Because if we don't, then nothing changes, nothing happens, a statement is not being made. You can always have something happen, but if you have no statement, then it's always unclear. So a statement has to be made.
And then and just adding on to that, it's very important. Like not even just when you think about it, not even just the voting, but black culture as a whole is important, really, to all of America. A lot of people may not want to accept that, but it is. And I really want us more than anything to vote, but also we have got, and it's hard. It's hard when we keep seeing, the Breonna Taylors, the Trayvon Martins, and all those things, and it's terrible. Yes, it is. But we have got to stop feeling that, okay, yes, we are still enslaved, we are still being oppressed. Yes, those things are happening, but it's not happening to every single black person in America right now to this day. It's not.
Hold on.
But
I agree with that. I do agree with you on that. But the thing is, you got to understand that could be us as a black person. That you get what I'm saying?
yes,
Like
right.
that could be us. So it's
That
like I
could be.
understand that fear. There should be no way that I should be driving down the street and if a police get behind me, I tell you I might call it me a punk, call me what you want to call me. Driving while black is something real, people.
It is.
I get
It is.
fear when there is a police man behind me, and even when I get pulled over, even I haven't got pulled over in about a year, thank God. Even when I get pulled over, I am very paranoid. I am sweating out of my clothes for no reason.
and you know what's funny? Like, and I just want to tell like a brief story because that happened to me. About a few years ago, I was going to a party with my friends, and obviously, you know, I fell asleep in the car because it's like a long trip to this club. We never made it to the club. Next thing you know, I wake up and we're in this hotel parking lot, and you know, the police are trying to, you know, interrogate my little brother, and they swore up and down that there was like weed in the car. There was no weed in the car. There was nothing in the car, and it was to the point where from one squad car to like five squad cars now for like three black people in a car. And, you know, they're taking us out one by one, and being handcuffed and put into the back of a car is it is a terrible feeling. You know, it's just, especially if you've never been in that position. You know, everyone's saying that this is what I'll do if this were to happen. I promise you, it's not like that. And it's not about being a punk or anything, because again, we have in our minds that, okay, yes, we're going to die at any minute because now we're in cuffs. Which honestly, we were just being detained, and they tried every which way. That car was a mess when they were done. They were trying to find just even a gram, something in there that they could just say, "Oh, we're taking all three of y'all in." Couldn't find anything. And I think for me, what kept me calm in that situation is a lot of us of color, you know, we choose to believe in God, we choose to believe in whatever. I just think that if you have something strong, and I know a lot of people will say, okay, hey, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. I always, you know, believe in God. You know, we say those things, but we never really act on it. So my message to the community is I want us to start taking back our faith. I want us to start taking back our voice and not being so offended when we see, okay, why does this white woman have braids? Why does so and so taking? Why are they stealing from the community? Why are, you know, again, if it was not for us, you would not have the Kardashians. You would not have, you know, all these things that people are, you know, imitating from us because it originated from us. So no matter how many of us you kill, we still keep producing, we still keep coming as a whole. And one thing about it, we all bleed the same, but you cannot kill creativity. You cannot kill that natural gift that is inside of us. No matter how much a lot of white people in other communities and cultures want to replicate it, it can never be done. So I think it's very important for all of us to come together and use the voice, not in times of sorrow, but use the voice every single day. Support black owned businesses, support independent artists, support, you know, anything that is helping the black community grow, instead of coming together in times of, okay, someone just died in front of all of the world to see. Because let's be real, right now, black people are not doing anything but sitting home waiting on their second stimulus check. That's it.
Well,
You
I
got a
don't
few,
them black people.
and you know, and it's like,
But
I mean,
I work
that's
though.
how
But
I
I
feel.
ain't
I mean,
working on no
and this
second
is not
stimulus
me attacking my own or anything. It's just,
check.
I feel that we only come together in times of Al Sharpton and when it's on television. But when it's not, you know, in front of social media, we're nitpicking at each other, we're degrading each other, and you
But
barely
that's
see
not
that
just a
in other
black thing,
cultures.
though. Let
I'm
me
sorry.
interrupt you on that. I'm sorry to cut you off. That's not just a
Okay.
black thing, though. That is literally every race, and that's another comment that like it pisses me off because a lot of people will be like, "Well, Black Lives Matter," but y'all all killing each other, yada yada yada. Every race beefs with their own kind. Every single race out there, you got a white man shooting up white people. You got a Chinese man shooting up Chinese people, like you have that out there. It's not just the black people that just do it. It's every single race that does it. Everybody beefs with each other. It's not just the black community that's just sitting up there beefing with another black man and then yada 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 and screaming Black Lives Matter. It's literally every single race out there.
And I think, again, as we continue to grow as a culture and as a country, we have to learn to look beyond skin tone because we all bleed the same way. So that brings us now closer to the chill down section of Clutch and Chill. So, again, this political episode is definitely one that I think everyone could take away from. And again, this episode was not to slander President Trump. It was not to demean any name that was given on this podcast this evening. This podcast is simply to educate and to awaken those voices. So I guess the question that we want to ask everyone, and of course you guys as well, do you feel that your voice matters, you personally?
Hmm. When we are in a system or when we're in the world of today, sometimes I don't feel like my voice does matter because I don't have that type of power to make it matter. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, so it's like it does, but it doesn't. But I see sometimes like when we got these little change things, like when somebody gets killed or whatever the case may be, and we make the change.org thing, then our voices matter then. But it's like, why do we have to put in a change thing for our voices to be heard when this is something that should have been done? Like, with the whole Eli McClain kid that ended up dying, by a cop. And they're now reopening his case because, well, actually, let me take that back because, yes, our voices do matter. Because it's like, when we do the little change thing or whatever the case may be, finally they're hearing us. But it's like, why do we have to do a change.org thing in order for them to listen to us? It's just something that's just common sense. It's like, well, if the cop kills him on video, why do we have to sign a change petition in order for his case to be opened back up? That's just common knowledge. He should have been charged and thrown in jail.
True. Well, I feel that my voice does matter, even though it may not be on a huge platform like Trump or Tyler Perry or Oprah Winfrey. But just even where I'm at right now, um, I'm around a lot of individuals every day, and I really feel that as I continue to mature through life and able to kind of just share, I always feel like I'm sharing like my life with certain people that I work with, because I see a lot of situations that I've kind of been through. So I feel that my voice is important enough to encourage someone. For me, the biggest thing that I love to do is help somebody progress. And even if I'm not where I'm at right now, if you were able to sit down and take away something from our conversation and it helped you, then that's enough for me. Yes, I want justice, for Breonna Taylor and Sandra Bland and so many other people out there, but I feel that my voice is heard by me currently just being active in the community. I may not be at every rally screaming, Black Lives Matter, because honestly, I'm not gonna say it doesn't do anything, but okay, you've done that. Okay, so what are you doing after it? So for me, it's just taking those gradual steps to making a change.
My opinion on that is really, I feel like all voices matter. I feel like for the most part, we as a whole have to come to community and really like stand our ground. Like I feel like that comes from any like you have like the youngest people now that are coming up and giving their insight on it because they've done their research and become young activists. Then you have our older people being strong activists. So I feel like all voices matter. Everybody has something to say. Everybody has a different view on it. Everybody wants to be heard. Hence almost like this podcast, like all of our voices mean something. All of us have different stories. All of us have been through something to where we can speak on and express what we have to say. So I feel like all voices matter.
All right. Well, let me go on to a bonus section. We're gonna kick it back to Joe Biden. Um, do you believe that he will do something different when it comes with police brutality?
I feel that he honestly, let's let if the man is meant to be in office, let's let him get in office first, because I know there's a lot of things in America that needs to be fixed along with police brutality, and I don't believe that it will be the first thing that will change, even if Trump was reelected or whoever gets into office. I feel like that's something that will gradually change in time, especially now with a lot of these movies that are coming out on that. And I think a lot of people are starting to speak up now and get educated in law, and I think that's really helping. And I know it's kind of unfortunate and sad to say, but certain individuals that go through the system of police brutality, the ones that are allowed to tell their story. I feel like it helps because it helps awaken society to, okay, this is what's really going on, and it's allowing certain cases to be reopened. It's allowing a lot of things to really come to light that was there, but now it's on a grand scale. So I feel that by Biden coming in, we hope that it will be a change for us. But I think the biggest of it really just needs to come from us. Like, we've got to start looking at every possible candidate that's going into the White House or that's going into the police stations. So I think it won't really just be Joe's word. Like, even if he comes in, I don't think it would change like that. That's just my opinion on it.
I agree with you on that because I feel like it starts with the local office. I don't think it starts
Yep.
with the presidency because again we had Obama on Trayvon Martin's side and everything like that, and clearly George Zimmerman still didn't go to jail. So yeah, I definitely think that starts with the local office. I don't think that that's something that a president can change like right then and there.
I was going to piggyback off what Jaheim was saying, that it's going to take a lot. It's not going to happen like overnight. This is not just because he's in this position. Don't expect it to happen the next day. Don't expect everything to change in the following week. There's going to take time for this. So, like he was saying, let him get in office. Let's see how things roll out. Because there is so much that's always promised, but then it's all about time. And time is something that just always something that we just can't seem to control. It's always going to go from those 24 hours in a day. We can't just stop it. We just can't, you know, change it. We can't alter. We always have to go through that same pattern. So it's going to take time for that to be really effective. It's one of the worst things that we're dealing with, and it's being surfaced more and more and more now. But I feel like it is going to take time. It's not going to be something that's going to happen overnight.
And speaking of time, you guys, we are at the end of our Clutch and Chill episode. We hope you guys have enjoyed this political conversation, and we hope to see all of you guys at the vote at the polls. Lord, I can't even talk right now. And as a bonus, when you vote, please hashtag Clutch and Chill with your I voted sticker for a chance to be shared on our Instagram stories. So again, we want to thank you guys for all the love and all the support. This is your boy Double A.
It's your boy Jaheim.
And it's Lavelle Lycan.
And this is Clutch and Chill. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye bye.
1, 2, 3, 4.